All right, welcome back. We're diving deep into California Pizza Kitchen today.
CPK.
You know, CPK. Everybody knows CPK, but
Yeah.
they've been struggling,
hmm
and everyone wants to know, like, what happened? Is there any hope? Can they make a comeback?
Yeah. Is this the end of CPK?
We're going to find out. Today, we've got excerpts from this really cool YouTube video essay. It's called California Pizza Kitchen versus Pizza Hut. Who's really winning?
Wow.
And it poses a lot of interesting questions. So right off the bat, they point out that CPK filed for bankruptcy back in 2020.
Oh, wow. I didn't know it was that recent.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But get this, the video says their problems started way before that.
Really?
Yeah, like long before 2020. So it makes you wonder, is there something about their concept that's just inherently, like, challenging? Is it tough to keep a concept like that going?
That's a really good question. It's not just about pizza, is it? It's like the whole casual dining industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's rewind all the way back to the beginning, 1985.
Okay.
Larry Flax and Rick Rosenfield, they start CPK. But here's the kicker. They weren't chefs.
Okay.
They were lawyers.
What?
Lawyers.
Wow.
That's
a
like
career change.
Talk about a career change. Like, what made them ditch the courtroom for the kitchen? What was the inspiration?
Well, the video talks about, California-style pizza was having this huge moment back then. Like chefs, Wolfgang Puck, they were making these gourmet pizzas, really unique toppings. And Flax and Rosenfield, they saw this opportunity to make that style more accessible.
More mainstream.
Yeah, exactly. Which, I mean, thinking about it, that was a bold move to just leave this stable career and just jump into something completely different.
Totally. It seems like they were onto something, right? They opened their first restaurant in Beverly Hills.
Nice.
And CPK quickly gets known for their open kitchens, the service, friendly service, and of course the creative pizzas. But they also were doing things a little differently for the employees too. Like they were the first national chain to ban smoking.
Oh, wow.
They were concerned about their employees' health.
That's interesting. So they were like ahead of their time in a lot of ways.
Yeah, kind of like trailblazers.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the video, it also points out this kind of funny thing. Their early menu, it was considered too adventurous for a lot of people.
Really?
Too adventurous. They had things like rabbit sausage on the menu.
I mean, that's pretty out there. Not everybody's going to, go for that.
No. So their initial vision, maybe it was a little too California, even for California?
Yeah, it's like they had to, balance that innovation with like what people actually wanted.
Right.
Which I guess they learned because their famous BBQ Chicken Pizza.
Right.
That was one of their few early hits. So that's interesting. It was familiar enough, I guess, but still had, the CPK twist.
Right. They found that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're finding a groove, they're growing. And then 1992, PepsiCo comes in.
Pepsi.
PepsiCo. They acquire CPK.
The soda company.
Yeah.
Wow. I had no idea.
I know. And they already owned Pizza Hut, so they must have seen something special in CPK, right?
Right. But was that a good thing? The video kind of makes it seem like PepsiCo pushing for all this rapid expansion may have actually hurt them, long term.
Yeah.
Like all of a sudden they're scrambling to find new locations, train staff, and they have to keep the quality consistent across all these
new
restaurants popping up everywhere.
Yeah, it's like they lost their specialness.
Yeah, and that's kind of what made them, appealing in the first place. So maybe
Rapid growth isn't always
it's not always the best thing.
best thing.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just, focus on what you're good at.
Right.
And, keep that quality high.
Yeah, it's like you were saying, that balance between, growth and maintaining your core identity.
Exactly. And you know what? This whole rapid expansion thing, it keeps happening with CPK.
Really?
Over and over. After PepsiCo, they're going through all these different owners, private equity firms. They even went public for a while.
Public?
Yeah, and then eventually they end up in this debt for equity swap.
A debt for equity.
Which basically means like the people they owed money to,
okay,
they took ownership of the company.
Wow.
Instead of getting their money back.
That's wild. It doesn't sound like a typical pizza chain story.
Not at all. And to me, all of these ownership changes, it kind of seems like they were just constantly searching for like the magic formula for success. But every time they had this burst of growth, it was always followed by like financial struggles.
Right.
And then new leadership.
Makes you wonder if they were so focused on growing that they weren't paying attention to some bigger problems, like with their business model, maybe.
Maybe. That's a great point.
Okay, so fast forward to 2015. CPK launches what they called their next chapter transformation.
Next chapter. Okay.
New menu, they renovated restaurants, they even jumped on that cauliflower crust trend.
Yeah, trying to be healthy.
Right. But were those changes enough, like, to really turn things around?
That's the big question, right? I mean, it seemed like they were moving in the right direction, but the video, it makes this point, like, were these changes, were they really innovative, or were they just like reacting to whatever everyone else was already doing?
Right, right. Like, were they actually fixing the problems or just putting, like, a Band-Aid on things?
Exactly. And did they like really understand why people weren't, going to CPK anymore?
Yeah, good point. And, it's not like they stopped there. The video also mentions they've been trying out, like, franchising more, which apparently they haven't really done a lot of in the US.
Oh, interesting.
And they keep, like, launching new products, like they have that plant-based pizza now, the Don't Call Me Chicken
Don't
Pizza.
call me chicken. Okay, it seems like they're, trying different things. But I guess the question is the like the whole CPK concept, is it strong enough to like be everywhere,
Yeah.
nationwide? Or are they better off, being a little smaller, more niche, just focus on what they do really well?
Maybe trying to be everything to everyone is part of the problem. Like, maybe if they were more focused, they'd actually be more successful. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. And I think to really understand why this is such a like a tough spot for them, we got to look at the bigger picture.
Okay.
I mean, the whole casual dining industry, it's been having a rough time for years now. People are, cooking more at home, they're ordering takeout, and they want things, fast and cheap.
Yeah, and the pizza market, it's so competitive.
Oh, yeah.
You get those giant, Domino's, Pizza Hut.
Hmm.
They're constantly innovating and offering like crazy deals. It's got to be tough for a more upscale like dine-in place like CPK to keep up.
For sure. And the video actually had this stat that really highlights the problem. 78% of CPK's business was dine-in customers before the pandemic.
78%. Wow.
That's a lot.
That's a big chunk of their revenue tied to like a trend that's been shrinking for years.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they, adapted fast enough, like to how people are, eating now.
Right, right. And it's not just about like the competition, right? Like people's preferences are changing in other ways too. People are more health conscious, I think. They're looking for like more diverse flavors, interesting flavors, and they care more about like sustainability, ethical sourcing.
Yeah, totally. It's not just get me a pizza in 30 minutes anymore. It's
Right.
like what's in the food, where did it come from, that kind of thing.
Right. People care about the whole package.
The whole experience. So, CPK has tried like the cauliflower crust and plant-based stuff, but have they done enough? Like have they really embraced all these changes in what people care about?
Yeah, or are they just like playing catch up?
Exactly. I think there's a real chance for them to like stand out here, to be the leaders in this, Doug, not just, following everyone else.
I agree. It's not enough to just like offer a cauliflower crust pizza. You got to create a whole experience, a brand that, people connect with on a deeper level.
Yeah. It's more than just, I'm hungry, I want a BBQ chicken pizza.
Right. It's got to be more than that. So, with all of that in mind, I mean, do you think realistically CPK can pull off a comeback?
It's not going to be easy. They've got some, serious challenges, both with the company itself and the whole industry.
Right.
But they've been around for 40 years.
That's true.
That's impressive for any restaurant.
Yeah. They've weathered some storms before. They've adapted, maybe not always quickly enough, but they've adapted.
Exactly.
So you're saying there's a glimmer of hope.
I think so. But it's going to take a lot of work, strategic thinking. And they got to be willing to like make some bold decisions, maybe some decisions that, challenge how they've always done things.
Okay, so what would some of those bold decisions be? Like if you were in charge of CPK's comeback strategy, where will you start?
Well, first, I think they got to figure out like who is their customer now?
Mm-hmm.
And what do those people actually want? What do they care about? And that might mean, letting go of some old ideas about the brand.
So like a little soul searching.
Yeah, for sure. And then they got to focus on like delivering an amazing experience consistently, meet those needs, exceed expectations, not just good food, but like a whole dining experience that people, they feel something.
Right. And they got to be more adaptable, like constantly evolving to stay ahead of the trends.
Right. Be proactive, not reactive. Anticipate what's coming next. Experiment. Take some risks.
It sounds like they need a total culture shift, not just a new menu. But even if they do all that, can they really overcome, like, the shrinking market and the fierce competition? Is there even space for them to thrive in, like, the pizza landscape of the future? It really is at a turning point for them. But you gotta give them credit, though. They've been around for over 40 years.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, that's a long time in the restaurant biz, right? What do you think it is about CPK that's, like, let them survive this long?
Well, I think they do have like this lasting appeal. People know them for like the quality of their ingredients, that whole California fresh image, and their menu. It's not just like basic pizza.
Right.
That's a little more, so maybe it's that like familiar but still a little, a unique thing that's kept them going.
Yeah, I get that. The California style pizza, that's definitely their thing.
Yeah.
But they can't just like coast on nostalgia forever, right?
No, no, totally. They got to figure out how to connect with, the younger folks, those new customers who are looking for like more than just food.
Right.
They want an experience. They want a community and a brand that, actually reflects their values.
Yeah. So maybe it's not about being like the biggest pizza chain in the world anymore.
Right.
Maybe it's about being a beloved brand that, has a special place in people's hearts, even if that means like scaling back a bit.
Yeah, I think that's a smart way to look at it. Maybe their path to success is, being a little smaller, but really focused on like specific areas, markets where they really connect with people.
Yeah. It's like that saying, less is more.
Exactly.
Maybe by like focusing on quality over quantity, they can build something, stronger, more sustainable. It's a risk for sure,
Yeah,
but
it is a risk.
it might be like the best move they could make.
I mean, sometimes you got to take a risk, right?
Yeah.
To get a reward. And for CPK, like not changing, staying the same, that might be the biggest risk of all.
That's a good point. Well, this has been a really eye-opening deep dive.
Yeah, it has.
We started with this simple question about a pizza chain, and now we're talking about like the whole restaurant industry.
It's crazy how, like, even something as, as basic as pizza, there's so much going on behind the scenes.
So much more than meets the eye. And for those of you listening, we want to hear your thoughts. What would you do to like bring CPK back? What bold moves would you make? Share your ideas in the comments and, keep this conversation going.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, to get people thinking. Because, it's not just about the information, it's the questions you ask, the insights you get, and the conversations that happen afterwards.
Absolutely. So keep those brains working, stay curious, and join us next time for another deep dive into something new and interesting.
As always, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and comment below.
Yeah, leave us your thoughts.
Let us know what you think.
And don't forget to check out the links in the description. You might find some useful stuff there. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.